Hi, my name is Matt Statham from Bullfix, and I'm here to tell you about how to install our medium-duty radiator adapter brackets for installing heavy designer and column radiators to plasterboard walls. Okay, so the first thing to do is to mark out where you'd want to put the manufacturer radiator brackets on the wall, assuming we weren't going to use our adapter brackets. So what I've done here is we wanted to have the bracket positioned there. So we mark the center line with our pencil, and that's that center line there. And that horizontal line there is actually the line showing the bottom of the manufacturer's bracket and the position you want it to be in eventually. And I'm going to do the same for the bottom bracket. Mark out the center line and the horizontal line showing the bottom of the bracket. Okay, so the next step is to assemble the manufacturer's brackets to our adapter's brackets. Now you've got two configurations. You need two brackets to have top brackets and two of the brackets for the lower brackets, and they're configured differently. That's the lower one, that's the upper one. So we take the upper one first. So here's the manufacturer's bracket. We need to take that lower hole and place that lower slot over the stud. We then need to position it. I always position it at the top as far as it will go, as high as it will go, making sure that that hole can still align with the slot behind. And then we start the flange nut and we do that nut up. And just before we tighten up the nut, we're careful to make sure that the top holes are aligning with the slot in the bracket, as I will demonstrate in just a second. And there we are. Careful to align the top hole as well. Position it the best we can, and a final little nip up. Okay, so now we turn to the lower two brackets, and these will need to be configured differently. So now the stud is towards the bottom of the bracket, and we take the top hole of the manufacturer's bracket and we put that on the stud. And then you can see the two slots align. We then again place the flange nut on. And we do the flange nut up, nip it up, being careful to make sure that those two slots are aligned. Okay, now that you've assembled your manufacturer's bracket onto our Bullfix adapter bracket, what you need to do is take that and using align the bottom of the manufacturer's bracket with the height of the line that you previously marked on the wall. Now, clearly, if the line isn't wide enough, you need to make it wide enough so that the bracket doesn't hide it. But basically, what I want to do is position it there. And once that's positioned correctly, you can then mark the hole position for the Bullfix fixings that you're going to put in place next. And likewise, for the lower bracket, which again, remember the manufacturer's bracket is at the lower part of the adapter bracket in this orientation. Again, we want to position the lower part of the manufacturer's bracket in line with the line that we previously marked on the wall. Then, having done that, we mark a hole position anywhere in that slot and, of course, on that top hole for the two Bullfix fixings we're going to put there as well. Okay, so having inserted the collar, you then take the Bullfix fixing, you turn it into a fish, and you take the tail of the fish, you put that into the hole, a little tap to go home with a hammer, and do the same on this one here as well. Tap it in. Then we take our pre-assembled bracket assembly now, and we take the first hole here, put that inside. Take our nut runner and we align that into the top hole and run it loosely in. We then take our second screw, which should align with the bottom Bullfix fixing. Drill it in. Roll up the top one, and you've now got the adapter bracket securely mounted to the plasterboard. Likewise, we take the bottom bracket assembly, put the top screw in, and you secured your bottom bracket as well. Okay, now we can take our radiator, fix it as per the manufacturer's instructions to the manufacturer's brackets, clip them on, and then you've got a really good fix on plasterboard.